It was a mistake that would have caused a goal to score. They exploited the space on the right-hand side, and with some very good link-up plays, then they got that goal. I believe it was a soft goal, but it was a very good build-up goal. But separate and apart from that, the Jamaicans were playing very disciplined, organized. In a long while, I've not seen it looking that way. They closed down the players real quick. And there was something that I saw where Argentina always trying to make the attack going forward. And because of the discipline of the Reggae Boyz, they had to reset or recycle the play on many occasions. So it was a good look, to be honest.
We'll be having at least a look at the first goal in just a minute. What do you thought about the Jamaican line with Blake in goal, Bell on the left side of the fence, Bailey up front, Johnson, Morrison, Nicholson, Reed, Lowe, Antonio, Mariaco, and of course Javier Brown in that right back position. What do you think of the line?
Javier Brown, I think it was a very good lineup in terms of the best players playing on the field. Yes, I believe so. Yeah. So it was a very good lineup.
All right, here's the first goal. A little you'd say a little mix up in defense. Lowe didn't cover his man.
I think it was a soft goal.
Yeah.
The defender was beating him, Damian Lowe.
Right.
But he started to watch the player who beat him. He should have picked up the other player from him. Even though the number 4, which is Amari Bell, he could have stepped towards that player though. But I think Damian Lowe was caught wanting there, a little bit of ball watching there after being beaten. But it was really a soft goal. It was really a soft goal. But the lineup was a very good lineup, to say the very least. Strong lineup, facing a very good Argentina team.
I want to ask you about what kind of grade would you give the players individually? The start
for me,
for you.
Amari Bell.
Let's start with Blake in goal.
Blake.
Yeah.
All right. For Andre Blake, not a bad outing. Persons normally say Andre Blake is not a very good passer of the ball, and for me, he surpassed that in this encounter this evening. He made a few passes. I don't know if that was the plan of the coach to always play back to him for him to make the pass. That is something that they have to look into as they go forward, the coaching staff or the technical staff. But Andre Blake would have gotten 3 goals past him, 2 from the expert, one of the best in the world. I mean, I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 6.
A 6.
Yes.
Amari Bell over on the left side of the fence.
Man of the match for me.
Man of the match?
Yes.
From a Jamaican point of view.
From a Jamaican point of view, yes.
So you thought Amari Bell played the best?
He played the best out of all the Jamaicans. So I'd give him a 7.8.
Why would you say that?
I mean, he played his position well. He seemed to have understood it well. He was in attack. He did well in defense. Moments of the game where he tried to drive forward in helping the attack. I think for me, he played a solid defensive role. Yes.
All right. And I'm giving you, I'm giving you based on how the team was set.
Yeah, man, no problem.
So Leon Bailey, what do you think of how he looked?
Leon Bailey. Moments of the game, he was out of the game. I think he was tackling hard. He was tracking back to assist Javier Brown, but I think the positioning of Leon Bailey when he was tracking back was not all that good for me in terms of protecting Javier Brown. So I'll grade him down there. He did not offer much as a poster boy for the team. So I'll give Leon Bailey a 5, you know.
A 5.
Yeah. Daniel Johnson. Coming back into this team after a long hiatus. I mean, he had the responsibility to marshal the midfield alongside Ravel Morrison. I believe he did well. He wasn't so much in the game. There are moments when I didn't see that linkage from Daniel Johnson between the defense and the attack. I don't know if they were isolated in the game. Were they only there to break up the attack from the Argentine midfield? give him a 5.
You give him a 5. Why not too many Jamaicans get more than a 5 except for Amari Delphi? But we'll continue our analysis of the players when we come back after the break. Back to Football GPS, and we have Coach Minzy, and we also understand that Omar Stennett, that's Coach Minzy, Omar Stennett, the man we call Manning's man in another circle areas, has joined us as well. Mr. Stennett?
Mr. Egan, good evening to you and your viewers.
You watch the game? You watch the game, right?
Yes, sir, definitely.
All right. We were getting Coach Stanley's, Coach Minzy's individual assessment of players with a grade. We'll come to you, or we could just, what would you say, alternate between both of you. But let me ask you, what did you think of the game? What jumped out at you?
I thought that this is the coach's first game, and he did speak in his press conference about getting the team defensively organized. And I think for 85 minutes of that game, you could see an organized team defensively, though we didn't do a lot. And so with the short time that he had, he made a definitive statement about defensive organization. And we saw that. It says to me that if he can take 2 days, 2 sessions, and get us to be so organized defensively for 85 minutes against an Argentinian team, then it argues well for us going forward.
Well, someone said Argentina, when they really wanted to, they really stepped up the pressure. But you're marking the coach easy, and I can understand that. This is his first game, and he himself said he only had 2 days, so I understand where you feel about it. All right, so I was getting Coach Minzy's assessment of the players, so I'll give you the one that he has already assessed. And then they told you alternate from here on in. Quickly, yeah, give me your answers as quickly as possible. Starting with Blake in goal, what kind of game you thought he had?
I thought Blake, he did better at his distribution. We have always complained about his distribution. He did well at that in this particular game. He is the captain, and you could see him speaking and just getting the players to be in certain positions. And he was part of that defensive organization. So, good performance.
Amari Bell.
I thought he was the best Jamaican player on the day.
You and Coach Minzy talk before the game start? Before the command for the game?
No, man, we haven't talked. And we said the same thing in terms of Andre Blake's distribution. We did.
Yeah. Do I look like, is he a great mind think alike? So you thought Amari was the best player on that left-hand side of midfield. I thought he played very well as well. I've already seen the critics coming out and said it's not a game where Leon Bailey did not impose himself in a Jamaican shirt as he does at Villa. Your thoughts on Leon Bailey?
Alright, so I think the system that we played created trouble for Leon Bailey. I think he plays better when we play with him in a 3, so meaning 1 forward on the right, 1 on the left. I think because we're using the double pivot, 2 forwards inside, and so the midfield was playing like a diamond because Robert was playing so deep. It affected him getting the ball high up the pitch in one-on-one isolation situations. But I also felt like he did hold on to the ball a couple of times longer than he needed to.
All right, give me a grade. Gentlemen, I want 1 sentence each, then a grade, so that we can get through all the stuff. So give me a grade for Leon Bailey. Stennett.
I'll answer 5.
5. All right, Johnson.
Daniel Johnson.
Yes.
Good first up. 5.
A 5 as well. All right. So now both of you have assessed all the players, or 4 of the players so far. Ravel Morrison, Coach Stennett, Coach Minzy, 1 sentence, and then a grade.
I think he was the second best player on the field, in my estimation. Therefore, I'll give him a 6.8.
Why was he the second best player? What did he do that made you come to that conclusion that he was the second best player tonight?
Yeah, man, I think behind
Amari Bell.
He was in the tackles. He was trying to, especially in a part of the game when he dropped a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
You see the team started to play a little bit better, started to be a little bit more structured in terms of the defensive formation. So yeah, I think he was the second best player.
Stennett, give me your quick sentence and grade on Rabbit.
Yeah, I think the responsibility that was thrust upon him, that he played like a deeper line CVM, And almost like he played in a back three when we were receiving the ball, and from there he was able to spring the passes left and right. And the times when we had two series of in the second half of 16 passes on one occasion and 18 passes on the other, and he was instrumental in that. So I would give him a 6 out of 10.
All right, Bowser, Nicholson, back to you, man.
Shamar, I don't know how many times he touched the ball. It was probably challenging for him how he was deployed. However, I saw him coming back in the midfield to help out the midfielders. He ran hard in terms of the first pressing of the Argentina's back line. So I'll give him a 6.5 thereabout as well.
So why? But you said with the second best player with a 6. So who are you giving
6.8.
No man, 6.8.
6.8 you're the Ravel. When you talk about how Nicholson played management.
The truth is, I would give him a standard 5. Most of the other players I give a standard 5. I give Ravel a higher grade, and I give Damian Lowe, though he was part of the problem, I think, at the first goal we conceded, but all the other players on the standard 5.
Standard 5. So Bobby Reed, so you have already said 5 to everybody. How did Bobby Reed play? I've seen Bobby Reed in some games, them look like the Pele reincarnated.
Yeah.
But I don't know, boy. He didn't have a bad game, but as a man who are the number 10 in our team, I don't know that he imposed himself. What are you talking about that?
No, Ravel was wearing the number 10. He was the 14th.
Oh, he was the 14th, yes.
Yes, I think Bobby Reed, and sometimes you wonder why players look so different when they play for their clubs, and they play a better game because of the system that they play in. I think this coach wanted something different, and the role that he was given, he tried as hard to play that role. However, I think he did more defensively than in attack. He was more so assisting with the defensive line, in my estimation, than in the attack. And where we know a Bobby Reed can take on players and do what he wants.
Yeah, I don't know. So give me a grade.
6 again.
6 again.
Yeah.
On the low stuff, that is
Damian.
What do you think about it? You've already said what you said. Management, give me a comment on.
Yeah, so let me just on Damian Lowe, I thought he was part of the issue, the first goal that we conceded. But he marshaled that right side of the defense very well and made Javier Brown look a whole lot better this game than he normally playing for us.
Yeah.
I will also add to that in terms of Bobby Reed. Remember again, the coach said he was going to work on one thing and one thing only, was a defensive organization. I don't think we did enough things to like game planning offensively. And I think we can only see good from Bobby Reed when we make him more focused on his offensive side.
All right.
Defensive side, yeah.
Antonio, gentlemen, were any of you disappointed by his input in the game or his output, or were you convinced he wasn't getting enough service? Give me a quick
Standard side for me. Not getting enough service. Yeah.
Not getting enough service for Antonio. What do you think, Coach Winsley?
Same thing. I would, but my marking is a little bit up than Manning's. I'm giving a 6. Antonio wasn't getting service, but he was running, he was pressing, he was helping out in the middle of the park, he was helping out in the defensive section of things. There are a few times he ran at defenders, but without help, he didn't go as far as he would have wanted. So, yeah, not a bad game. He would want more service.
Maria for the willy old veteran, the man you can call for no matter what. Satisfied with his game? Steady.
You know, I could be seeing wrong because I wear glasses, but I think he conceded the penalty. That the free kick, that was that free kick that was scored. He was part of the tackle that led to the free kick that led to score.
Yeah.
And if that was the case, in the last 4 games, he has given up 3 penalties and 1 free kick that led to a goal.
Wow.
I think he's a little bit over the edge, but I respect his service. But they probably need to have him in the team as a mentor and as plan B.
Coach Winsley, you agree?
Somewhat. I think he started out well, but because of possibly his age, the running that the Argentine Argentina team would have brought towards the defense, would have probably allowed him to be wary in the latter part of the game. But I still give him a 6. Like most of the players, I would say a standard 6. But Mariappa, he has served well, like Manning said. I think that if we probably had an Argentina team that was whipping in more crosses, then we would have seen more issues where Mariappa is concerned, because I think that's one of his weaknesses in terms of jumping and heading the ball.
The last one that we haven't looked at from the starting left, playing the right back position as well. I do assessment, you are the analyst, but I thought he was an improved version. I think Manningsman said that. Are we talking about the youngster Javier Brown in that right back position? Mannings, how you thought even?
You know what is funny? Like, in the entire World Cup campaign, we wanted Javier Brown to do one thing. That was defend and not attack. And the first game we have seen him focus predominantly on defending, he looked a whole lot better. And this is again the importance of a coach organizing a team.
All right, sir.
Here you go.
We don't have much time. Gentlemen, asking 30 seconds each. What do you take from the game? What were the good things and what were the bad things? 15 seconds each. Coach Mendy, quickly with you.
All right, the takeaways from the game. Defensively, we see more organized and there seems to be a structure. Going forward, the transition through the thirds, I think that needs to be worked on. But this is the first game for the coach. He did not get a lot of time to work on that. So I'm easing him up at this moment. Going forward, we'll see more games that he'll play to make a fair assessment.
All right, Manningsman, Mr. Stennis, your final comment.
Yeah, so I think the coach has organized the defense. The other issue we had for the last couple of years is our midfield. I want to see what he does next there, and then I will begin to say, yes, we are making progress. Fix the defense, and we start from the back, we get to the front. So I'm looking forward to see what he will do with the midfield in the next game that we will play in terms of friends.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. So that's Coach Minzy and Omar Stennis, the man we call Manningsman, who happens to have gone to a pretty good school, if I may say so myself. We'll talk again. Thanks.